What's going on, Muscle Monsters? Align Gonzalez here, and today I want to give you 3 reasons that most people are losing way too much muscle mass when they're cutting. And I also have a very special gift for you at the end of this video, so make sure to stay till then. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump right in. Number 1 is way too much cardio. Alright, a lot of the time people determine, okay, I have to cut, so I'm going to do a bunch of cardio, and they put weight training on the back burner. The reason we don't want to do this is twofold. Number 1, we need to train with weights primarily because we want to maintain our muscle tissue. But also because the last thing we need when we are under eating is more stress. Okay? We have plenty of research that shows that when we combine weight training with endurance training, if we do too much endurance training, it negatively impacts our ability to build muscle, gain strength, and so on. This is especially true when we are under eating. All right? So in terms of the types of cardio I would recommend when you're cutting, it's going to always be high intensity intervals. Here's why. All right? What determines the calorie to fat calorie ratio in terms of what we're burning from cardio is the intensity. Okay, so when we are training at a low intensity, we are at a higher fat calorie to calorie ratio. Okay, so maybe 80% of the calories you burn are going to be from fat calories. Okay, but before you determine that, that's the goal. I need to burn fat calories, so I'm going to go low intensity. Just hear me out. All right, when we go up to a moderate intensity, all right, we're going to burn more calories, and that ratio is going to be lower, right? But here's the deal. When it's lower, let's say 60%, you're still burning more overall calories from fat and more calories in general. So now you might be burning, say, 200 calories and say 60% of that from fats, making it about 130 calories from fats. When you were at a lower intensity, you may have burned in the same 30 minutes, right, 100 calories, and 80 came from fats. So in the same amount of time, at a higher intensity, you're burning more calories and more calories from fat. But if we go high intensity, so maybe some sprints and then low pace and then sprints and low pace, or any kind of general high intensity interval training, we burn, say for example, in the same 30 minutes, 500 calories. Now that ratio is even lower. Let's say it's down to 50%. Well, you're still burning 250 calories from fats and 500 calories total, right? So even though the ratio is lower, you're still burning more calories and more calories from fat with a higher intensity training. So you're going to do less cardio for the week, right? You're going to spend less time on the treadmill, and you're going to burn more calories and ultimately more fat. 2 is we're cutting carbs too quickly. All right? I don't know why this day and age people are still afraid of carbs. Okay? Carbs are our main source of energy. Okay? So here's the deal. If you are maintaining at 300 grams of carbs right now and you decide tomorrow you want to start your cut, there's no reason to drop those carbs down to 100. For one, the deficit that you're going to be in is way too high, and so you're probably going to lose weight too quickly and thus lose strength quicker and end up eating less at the end of your cut. But more importantly is because blood glucose and muscle glycogen are the primary factors that determine how well we perform. All right, so when we deplete our glycogen stores by going low carb, it's hard for us to retain our strength in the gym. And if we can't push the same weight, we're not going to be able to hold on to that muscle tissue, right? When we're cutting, our body would much rather get rid of the metabolically active tissue, muscle, rather than it would the fat. But if we can prove that we need that muscle, then we can keep it. All right, but if we go low carb too quickly, then our performance declines and we ultimately lose strength, which in turn causes us to lose muscle. And last but not least, too much volume. All right, we're not going to be able to recover from the same amount of volume as we did when we were bulking, especially as we get further into our cut. Okay, on top of that, we only need a fraction of the volume that we did when we were bulking to maintain our muscle mass. Okay, so if you are doing 5x5s now and you're noticing that as you get further into your cut, you're not able to recover as quickly, then I would suggest that you knock those 5 sets down to 3 and focus on keeping the intensity rather than the volume. The intensity, the amount of weight we push, is going to be more important and critical towards maintaining muscle when compared to volume. All right, we can decrease our volume and do less work slowly over the course of the cut, but the closer we get to maintaining strength, then the more muscle we will retain. All right, so if you're deep into your cut, you're not recovering as quickly, don't be afraid to cut back on a few sets on most of your exercises, so you can recover faster, and more importantly, so you can really just maintain your overall strength, which is what is most important when you're cutting. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it, and now let's talk about what I have for you. All right, as most of you guys know, I recently released the Lean Mass Diet and got incredible feedback, but I also got a lot of requests for a fat loss version. All right, fortunately, I anticipated that would happen, so I was working on that as well, and I just released the Shredded Diet. It's basically a spin-off of the Lean Mass Diet, but for fat loss. Okay, here's the kicker. Until Saturday, this book is going to be 100% free. All you have to do is go to the link below, click the buy now for free, and it'll download right to your device. No cost at all. Now, if you wait till Saturday or you're watching this after Saturday, you can still get the book. You're going to have to pay for it, probably be like $3. But if you're watching this before then, make sure you download that while it's free. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you find that book helpful. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.